Donnie B, GotDaBeats.
Welcome to the beat. It's Donnie B got the beats. And you live on the beat. Listen, you guys know how I get down. And I got, I always try to bring top talent, bro. Top talent. People that I know for a fact are doing their damn thing. So this brother right here, I met through the Military Fresh Network. Shout out to the MFM, man. Jimmy Cox and Erica Cox and that whole fam. They created the Unplugged, MFN Unplugged. It was a contest designed to showcase musicians and songwriters within the ranks of the military. And this is one of the brothers that was on there. And his story, his style, everything, epic, phenomenal, dope. And I had nothing but good things to say about him. And I was like, if I ever have a platform, this is the type of brother I would showcase. Pretty consistent with everything else that anybody else I brought in, and this guy definitely deserves accolades. He definitely deserves the spotlight. Barbaric Barry, how you doing, brother?
Good, man. Thank you for the intro, man.
No worries.
How you doing today?
You did all the work. So first of all, how you doing, brother? How you doing?
Oh, good, man. Usual work. Trying to manage. Especially, I got a wedding coming up too. So, yeah.
Okay.
Things been pretty smooth.
So is this like new?
What's that?
I'm sorry, the wedding. Like you said, you got a wedding to plan, everything. So
I've been engaged for more than a year now. So now we're just like prepping, making sure, because COVID hit, so he has to push back some stuff, and now everything's starting to open back up again.
Right.
So now we're getting organized, making sure everything's set, so that day won't be a lot of headache for my fiance. She's doing all the hard work.
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
No doubt. This is it's unprecedented. I ain't never made that. You on that voyage that I ain't never made. So, but that's a big thing. So I just much shout outs to you for that and your time with that. That's all I got to say about it for real. But let me ask you this question. Going back to it. Who is Barbaric Barry? Sorry about the interruption back there. Who is Barbaric Barry? Talk about your story about how we got from point A to point B.
So I grew up in the islands. I grew up in Trinidad. There's a lot of back and forth. Because from I think at the age of 2, probably I came up here. I was in Brooklyn, New York, Crown Street. I was living with my grandparents, my father, and my uncle. He was a DJ, so he used to play a lot of like hip hop music, Caribbean music, but hip hop was his thing. So I remember like jamming to like MC Hammer and hearing them play like Big Daddy Kane and stuff like that.
Right.
And I mean at that time, you're a kid, you know what's going on really. You just you hear the rhythm and you just dancing and stuff like that. So eventually, my grandmother came in. She was going back to Trinidad, and she took me back there when I was like 9. So again, they had like vinyl records at home. And I remember like putting it on, and the one I most used to put on was the Heavy D, even though he wasn't no big lyricist, but it was Heavy D because I like the beat, the boom bap beat. And I realized like that's up to this day, like anything I prefer. Like trap beats are nice, but I like my boom bap beats because like that was like the first thing I was listening to and jamming to, and it just has that effect. It just gives you that, you know. So eventually, like unfortunately, I grew up in a house where my grandmother didn't want me to listen to any cursing. So I wasn't. I would listen to BT and stuff like that, you know, watch shows. And the first rapper I really connected with was Ludacris, because of his punchlines. And you know, I'm not saying it's easy for you to like for a rapper to write a story because he already knows his story already. It's not that easy to put it on a song. But I think coming up with punchlines and still having that creative mind is just something that is special. Like to make somebody's face just turn, just be like, damn, that hit. You know, it's just something about it that just it's just special to me. So like Ludacris, I remember he had this one song called Cry Babies on Word of Mouth, which is a classic album. And he was just back to back. Each line was just punchlines. And I remember saying in my head, I was like, yo, if I want to actually start rapping, I want to be like that, like back to back. And then eventually, like, my grandmother, she used to be back and forth. You know, she used to come up here, go up to America, do what she has to do, then come back. And I was living with my grandfather. So eventually I used to slip in and start listening to the cursing and all that stuff like that. And I started writing like little here and there because like in the Caribbean, you know, the concept is just hip hop music is either reggae or soca. Okay. So it wasn't like, yo, I just want to make it big type of thing. So eventually I was writing, you know, I'll write like a few rhymes here and there, trying to share it with my friends, and we just laugh at it and whatever like that. So, and then I remember after I graduated, I came back up here. And then I met friends and we used to do a little freestyle here and there. And at that time, you know, again, I still wasn't into it. I just, you know, I was just doing my thing, you know. And then like listening to, again, influence like M when he was in his early days, he used to say some crazy stuff, like things that were just outside of the box. And I always like, yo, even though no matter how like I try to drift away from it and just be like, I don't want to be bothered with rap, I just want to have this fun. It was just something always there about it. And it's always like a specific style of person I used to, and it was always the person with the punchlines I used to always buy to. So eventually I came up, well, I was living with my father, and then we had like a altercation that it kind of made him in a way like kind of challenge me to put me in the army, and I took it as a challenge because he didn't really do anything. I took it as a challenge and I signed up for it, which was it was in a way when I think back about it, it was kind of reckless, but I was just like, yeah. Like I'll show you, like I could do this shit, and then I signed up. They only found out because the recruiter popped up by the door one of those days, and it was just like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm with the army." And then eventually, you know, I got shipped out. So, you know, fast forward, I got deployed, and so I came back when I deployed. And my uncle, I saw he had after I got out, because I spent like 3 years. I deployed for 15 months, and then when I came back, I had 6 months again. So I got out, went back to Jersey, and my uncle had this little set he had where you could record stuff, and I started recording. No, actually, it started before I got out, because as soon as I got back, I remember he said he was going to throw it away, but then after he told me, yo, see if you could use this. So I started recording little songs here and there, you know, trying to get like a feel for it, you know. And I always know like my flow was not there at all, especially when I go back and listen to it. But the bars was always there. I always was trying to at least like get metaphors, similes, a technique down with everything like that. And eventually, I got out, and eventually stuff slowly started to come together. So I remember I got out and I went on vacation to Trinidad, and I had my boy, his name was Queso. Me and him decided to like make like mixtapes, like just to be like funny. So we just used to take like beats from what other rappers use, and we just hop in and just start rapping on it. And that was like the first year, and the first year was alright, decent. And then people would be like, "Yo, like you got some skills, man. You should probably take this more." This, and I was just like, "Yeah, whatever." And then like the second year, I went back there on vacation, and I started rapping again. And then I realized it's naturally because I wasn't even really. I'll come back up here and I do one or two songs, but naturally my flow was just adapting for some reason. Like I will like it will get tighter, and I will know how to change it up at a certain point, and then switch. And these things were just not happening naturally. I didn't read no book about it or anything like that. And I guess it's for me just sitting down and just listening to listening to Luda, Royce, especially. Royce is like one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
And listening to how they always had this thing like they were in pocket, they will hop out of the pocket and then go back in the pocket. And that is something I wanted to get down pat, because again, I don't want to sound like everybody else. And that to me, that was just be you just like doing one flow, and then the next second you're just doing another flow. It keeps the other person interested. So, and all of this was for fun eventually. And then I came back, and then I had met a friend, and she had knew a dude in the studio that she was working with a dude. She was a singer, and she was working with some dude in the studio. And she introduced me to him, and me and him started to make a record. And so before that, before my name was Barbaric, I had the name Predator before, because Predator was like my favorite character, Predator versus Alien.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me take that or whatever like that. And, I started to take it a little more serious. And then my uncle was kind of giving me tips. Like, he was like, yo, try to put your similes a little more together, metaphors. Try to put more storytelling into it, and sit down, write. He's like, you get ideas, start writing down little ideas, little punchlines you have during the day. So when it's time for you to go back and listen to stuff and look over your notes, you could just, put that input there in case you have writer's block. So I started doing those little things, and eventually I had hit this point in my life, where I had moved out, and like things were going good, and then like for like a year, and then the next year like shit was just hitting the fan with me. So I remember I was in the reserve. I ended up going back to reserve, and I ended up the reserve unit I had joined. It was just it was way disorganized compared to how I remember how active duty was. And I had like a year on my contract again, so I was getting ready to bounce out the unit. And a recruiter came, retention recruiter, and came and was like, "Yo, your time is about to come up. You want to go and be a drill sergeant?" And I was like, "I ain't got nothing to lose." So I went ahead, and I got transferred to the unit that preps you and sends you there. But during that time, I was already going through rough stuff at home. So it got to the point that, shit was just heavy. So I ended up like without a home. But the only thing that like kept me going is because I put in so much work learning modules, learning, putting exercise in, keeping my scores at 300 and above. to go into drill sergeant school. So that was the only thing I was driving. So at that point, I still was working. I still had the reserve job, and I still had a security job I was working at. And my whole motivation was, so every time I came back from the security job, I would go to the gym. And I would like stay in there for like 3 hours and get up, go and eat. I'll try to keep myself busy so I don't have to like sit down and just be like mope around. I'll still write. And eventually that September, I went to drill sergeant school, graduated, got some cash back, and was able to just get something to a place to live in, and then get back on my feet. And then from there, I was just like, you know what, I'm changing my hip hop name, and everybody in Trinidad used to call me Barry. Basically, Barrington is a way to say Barrington for short in the Caribbean. So I was like, Barry. And then I was just like, I always like to rap aggressive. So I just put Barbaric in front of it. And then I actually started to write out, I did my first mixtape, which was on SoundCloud. It was like 10 songs. And it was just basically, I just sending it to, even though like the sound I didn't have, the apartment and wasn't that great, but, it didn't have no soundproof or anything like that. But, I just needed to vent. So I did it. I sent it out to this dude. And he organized everything for me, and, I got that out. And I just realized, like, I listened to the tape and I was like, yo, I'm one person, like, once I started, like, I listened to myself again and I just be like, you know what, I could do better than that. So this time I was just like, you know what, I was like, I'll make another one. And eventually I had a mission that came up for the reserve to go to Texas. And that is where I think I started to really flourish as an artist. I went down to Texas, and eventually my homeboy, actually, he was like, Eric Barnett. He actually was like, you know what? You have a show next Sunday. He didn't even tell me he was gonna book it. Like, you have a show next Sunday. And I was just like, what? And he was like, yeah, you have a show next Sunday, so get ready and go and perform. I was like, all right. And I was kind of nervous because, again, my style is kind of old school, and I know all these new school kids are, they like the trap music and stuff like that. So I was kind of worried, like, yo, they're not going to get the bars. They're going to be like, yo, what the hell are they talking about? And blah, 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 blah. Right. So I went to do the show. And actually, like, people actually feeling the music, and started to be like, yo, this dude got bars, like, yo, you hear what he said and stuff like that. I was getting that reaction, and after I performed, everybody was just like tapping me on my shoulder, and I'd just be like, yo, you got it, bro. You need to, keep pushing and stuff like that. And then that's when it like really, because I never got that reception, even though I was working with people up here before in Jersey, I never got that reception. Like the people in the South were more comforting and more open to what I was doing.
Right.
So I felt really comfortable, and I was just like, you know what, let me finish out the second mixtape. So, I named it Lyrical Trapping, as in like I'm like lyrically, dealing with dope music basically. And I try to do different things on there. I try to at least rap in my Trini accent. I try to rap fast. I try to just tell my story, and I try to just mix it up and be versatile on that mixtape. And it came out pretty good. And I listen to it now, and I know what I have to improve on, and I know what I had to work on. So eventually I came back to Jersey, and I started to, do single songs just to like see how people feel it out and try different styles instead of just putting everything on in one record, and just saying, let me put out an album. I just want, if I'm gonna put out an album, I want it to be like solid, like not I'm still guessing like if this was the record I wanted to make. So, you know, I put out certain things that was on my mind, then I put out stuff that was kind of popular, and then I kind of see and weigh the options, and then eventually I'm at this point now where I know myself, especially, you know, going to like therapy at times and knowing myself and knowing how I feel about situations now, it's better for me to express it. So that's what I'm doing now. And that's basically, you know, Barbaric, bro. Like he went through a lot of adversity, and and he's out there to like, because I always felt like every time I'm somewhere and it always has a crowd of people, I feel like people always look at me as like, nah, I ain't in it. And it's this other person. And that gives me the edge when I'm rapping. So that's like you like a lot of people could hear it in my voice. They'd be like, yo, why you so aggressive? And I'll just be like, yeah, like letting you know, like these bars and these punchlines are what it is, man. Like I I I could rap, basically.
Right. Now, you know, it's interesting because you have a lot of parallels to what I'm familiar with, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand or know. Like I spent time on the circuit. I was a recording artist myself, a rapper too. Understand how it is, especially when you're trying to find yourself, and you know, I don't want to necessarily say, and this is more of a me thing than you, but you know, I spent a great deal of time trying to find who I was in comparison to what everybody else was doing. So I was looking for accolades. I was looking for, you know, oh, dude, like you're dope. Like, and me, again, I'm from the Northeast, specifically Washington D.C., but my family's from South Jersey. So you know, Philly, like you know, 1,000%. If I wasn't in D.C., I was in Philly. If I wasn't in Philly, I was in New York. And the feeling that I got was, you know, well, I mean, yeah, I didn't, you know, and I always kind of look at the part, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I always felt like I had to give 1,000% just to make it 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel that that's a very big part of the Northeast itself. It teaches you how to be way bigger than you actually need to be, because you always feel somebody at your neck. No matter what, they always looking at you crazy. They always looking at you reckless. You know, like well, whatever. Like, oh, yeah, like I got a little cousin right now to eat him up, right? And then you give me a little cousin and you got to serve him. You know what I mean? And so I get that, and with specificity too, as me, you know, moving on from being a recording artist to being a music producer. My production is based in boom bap. Literally. I love boom bap. I totally understand that it's no kind of energy like boom bap, yo. It's none. It tells so many stories. It's so political. You can get political as you want with it. You can, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you could kind of tell clever stories that's very relevant, but you could do it with a light tone. You could, you know what I mean? There's so many different ways to attack it. It's not like trap where it's gotta be this.
Yeah.
Or gotta be that. You know what I mean? And so what you saying all of that, it resonates well with me because of you know, hey, I've been there and I understand exactly what you're saying. You know, now my question is, I know I just said a lot, and it seemed like you agree with most of it. But I want to ask you a very specific question. Do you feel that the stigma of being somebody from the Northeast is very thick to cut through, considering you spent time in the South and you said people were more accepting of your craft in the South? Would you agree with that?
It could also be that like in the South, people are more like you could generally like when you in the North and then you go to the South, you could see the difference between, I don't want to say mannerisms. You know what? It's mannerisms because like people in the South would tell you good morning. People in the North, like Jersey, would be like,
like, why are you talking to me?
Angry, yeah. Why are you talking to me? And it's just like, you know, and I think they're more open to. I think people in the North are just like they don't want to give you compliments because like You know, and he's like, you know, I mean, I'll make him feel like he's feeling himself, and I don't want to make him to feel and feel like that. And then like in the South, it's just like they're open to it. It's like, yo, you dope, like, bro. Like, I have no problem. I always tell people, I was like, yo, I'm so confident in my skills. Like, I have no problem telling another rapper he's good.
Right.
And I know if me and you hop on the track, like I will meet you there. Like, I have no problem with it. I'm confident in that, in my pen like that. So, like, if you're good, I'm telling you, you're good. There's no problem with that. Like,
right.
You know, I never understood that. Like, yo, like the perception, or to just make somebody feel down so you could feel better about yourself, type of thing. Like why? Like, you know, everybody. It's so many artists in the music game right now, and there's a lot of artists that's eating from it. So why you think somebody's coming to take your spot? You know, you do your thing your way. I do my thing my way.
Right.
You know.
Let me ask you this, because you have a very unique perspective, other than anybody else I've had on the beat. Maybe one other artist. Would you say that thought process, that mentality, right, or that lens to look at somebody through? Would you say that's an American thing? Would you say that's like you experience that more in the Northeast, geo-located type of stigma, whereas when you went to the South, it wasn't as heavy or just didn't exist? Or if you don't want to answer, that's totally fine too.
No. I'm thinking that's why. Because I experienced it when I was in the Caribbean. So I guess it's like, yo, I guess it's just the energy sometimes. Sometimes you meet a group of people that have positive energy and actually want to see you shine. And then you meet a group, and I'm sure it's people in the Northeast that have that mentality. But sometimes, again, certain things spread. So in the Northeast, like, if the mentality most of the time is, yeah, you all right, I don't even give you no props. A person who has the positive mindset to be like, you know what, nice, whatever, like that. Now they keep on hearing people in the Northeast saying that. Now they're gonna start to adapt that and be like, you know what, since you want to give me props, even though I thought he was nice, I ain't gonna give him no props. It spreads like that. Whereas, like, all right, say in the South, like, even though like dude had that mentality of, you know what, I ain't gonna let him know he nice, but you have a bunch of people coming to you and saying, you know what, yo, you nice, you know, you did your thing on stage. Now you're gonna be like, oh shit, you're like, he said I'm nice, you know. And you have all these people saying that. Now you're gonna say that to them because, you know, you feel that way. You're open now. You don't feel insecure or anything like that. You just want to, you know, give that same props, give back that same energy.
Right.
And I just think it depends on what group you're in with that situation.
Let me ask you this too, because I got to ask you, because you spent time in the Northeast, because you know, by all accounts, to me, again, because you love boom bap, you have an understanding of the streets and understanding, or not the streets per se, but, you know, the street lens of speaking, right, and telling your story, like a story. Would you say there's more power in the ability to freestyle or the ability to pen?
Gives you the power, I think, to write. You probably could write quicker. But at the end of the day, when you're putting out a track, is the final words that you write on that paper as being delivered to that track, what gives it the power. So at the end of the day, like, probably not the best freestyler. I know Royce said it too. He's like, yeah, I ain't no big freestyler, but you can't question his pen. And it's crazy. Like you give him time to write. And the same thing I have my boy Eric Barnett. He's pretty good at freestyling off the top of his head. But to go against him, it's kind of hard, especially with freestyling. You know, because stuff don't come fast to me all the time like that, and I have to be like in some type of good mood or whatever like that. So when it comes to that, so But at the end of the day, I always tell him like, yo, like he can see my confidence when I said, well, yeah, like if I start writing, it's gonna be a problem though.
Mhm.
He laughs every time. And he's like, yeah, you know what, the pen game is pretty nice. So at the end of the day, I think the pen has more power. You know, freestyling is really good. You know, because again, it just gives that wow effect. Like, damn, you thought about that bar just off the top of your head, like. You know, so that no respect, no disrespect to it. It's freestyling is not easy to do, but
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, it's just what your pen writes on the page and what you put on the record. Whether people think it's a freestyle or not.
It's interesting because in the time that I spent doing it on the circuit too, that was the thing. It's like I'm not, my mind does not process freestyle. It just doesn't. I don't even, you know, I'm old enough as to where I don't even care if that takes points away from me as an artist. You know what I mean? Like it's just at the end of the day, it's like like you said, it's a skill that some people are seriously crazy with.
Yes.
That I don't have. And like it got to the point where I really started to get what's the word I'm looking, when I started to feel myself as an MC or feel myself as a recording artist. You know, people would ask me to freestyle if I'm like, say for instance, I'm at somebody's radio station and so forth and so on, and I'm doing an interview, and they're like, freestyle something. I don't freestyle, buy my album. And I was just there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I'm not even myself, bro. But you know, at the end of the day, you can patronize me, bro. Like at the end of the day, I don't freestyle. I don't rap for free. You know, buy my album. You know, but it's dope to hear, you know, somebody that like, and I respect you, brother. Like you wouldn't be on the show if I didn't. Your bars are crazy, you know. So to hear you say the things that you say about it means a lot, because it's if you truly are a student of the game, then you really respect all forms of the craft, right? And so to have that knowledge, an understanding of it, to be able to relay it out to other people so that other people can gain knowledge on it too, is dope. You know, at least that's how I see it. So
yeah, I agree with that. You know, I think you have to study the greats, man. Like again, like going back to the freestyle thing, Big Daddy Kane said freestyle is basically you just rapping about whatever, and you don't have to do it off the top of your head, like you know. So yeah, like it's just weird how people go about things. And again, no disrespect to freestyle. It is something that is very tough to do, and not all MCs can do it. But again, a lot of MCs could write on a page, and they can't come up with certain bars certain other MCs come up with.
That part.
So, you know, is what it is.
No, I understand that. And like I said, I mean, you definitely have some skill and talent and where it is that you are with things. Now you have, I know you have up to date work. We actually have some songs here to play. But before we get to those songs, I want to ask you, like, what are you currently working on right now? Because I mean, somebody like you who's as dope as you is just talented. You have to have something in the chamber right now. You got to have some in the chamber. So, what you currently working on?
So I'm trying to do like a 5-song project, and since like you know, I got to really know myself a little bit more, I want to put more of my story on there. But I'm trying to put it in a way, again, with the punchlines in it, where it's just not just, oh yeah, that's me just spitting something and it's like I'm just doing punchline. I want to put my life story in and combine it together. So I have some stuff that I put on the tracks. Now some days I start off like really hot and I could write like one verse quick. And then I do the chorus and then the second verse comes and I stall. So then sometimes all I have to do is just put on another record and just start writing to another record. So I have one song that's complete, but I still have to record. But I have the idea, the foundation already for the next 4 songs to put together. So it's gonna be like a mixtape, which I call "Let Me Rap." because you know, there's always a stigma of somebody telling you, "Oh, you should rap like this person or like their favorite rapper," and like really, I don't care. I'm just if I'm not an artist is a person that expresses themselves their way, and if I can't do like if I can't express myself the way I want to express myself, then I'm not Barbaric Barry. If I express myself like how Drake does or like how Future does, then I'm Baby Future and Baby Drake. I ain't Barbaric Barry. So.
Nah, and you know what? I'm glad you say that, because you know even me, and I'm guilty of it at times in the past, because being a producer, you try to trend on who's moving, who's shaking, and you know who's doing what. You want to try to get the next talent that's kind of like this, and then you want to try to act like you were instructing, and so forth and so on. But like you said, really, it's an art, and some of the best talents defy art. Period. At the end of the day, because their art trumps all other art. You know what I mean? But again, listening to you know, you and no understanding what your story is, it's like, bro, like you have a very undeniable scenario with you, man. Like it's just what, and I admire the passion in you, because you do it, and you know, and you, it's not like you have like, you know, typical run of the mill John Public type of scenario with your life that it's just like, okay, you just are like a regular dude. Like you have had a lot of adversity. You've had a lot of different things that, you know, you had to fight for, and yet you still can't come with this talent that proves itself. When you listen to the bars, it's like, okay, cool. I like, that's my thing. Like I heard your bars. I was like, yo, he's pretty good. It's pretty good. But understanding your story let me to understand the bars better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's just like, and the fact that you can paint that picture, and then I go back and I do my homework and see your story, then go back and listen to the bars again and be like, oh, okay, this dude is actually nice, like really nice. That speaks a lot for you, brother. You know what I mean? And I think that should be more heralded and out in the front for people like you. And you know, I just wanted to take the time to say that. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Trust me, I ain't just whistling Dixie, brother. I'm telling you the facts. I'm Simon, bro. If I don't like it, I ain't gonna give you that compliment.
Your word, I respect that, man.
and I'm gonna tell you flat out, as somebody that I've you know produced for a long time, you already know where I'm about to go with this, man. One of the dopest joints I've ever heard. Like you had it, and it was like, yo, you had this little the track, and you had the little Super Mario beat, and I was like, bro, that is like the dopest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, yo. Like I hit you immediately, bro. Like, I don't know what your muse was. I don't know what you was on, but you was on that thing, brother. Like I was like, man, this is okay, cool. He's the Barbaric Barry is on my radar for sure. You know, so but like I said, to go back and hear your story and all of the things you're going through, man, it just speaks volumes to you, man. And again, I know it may seem like I'm just throwing a lot at you, you know, but it's all sincere accolades, and you know, like I'm being hunted with you, bro. Like I mess with that. That's my joy, yo. Yeah, I was riding to that for a couple months, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope that you got all that going on. Now, the projects that you said that you got going on, we don't have those, but we have two projects. I mean, two tracks of yours that people can get a taste of what you're about and your story. One is DPA, the other one's called Broke. I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one, and you tell us a little bit of backstory on the song. You pick whichever one you want to go first, and you know, tell us a little bit about it. And I want you to bring it in. I want you to intro it.
All right, so let's see. Broke first? Yeah, I'll go with Broke first. Okay. Broke was basically you know, I was going through that time when I was homeless, and you know, going to drill sergeant school and actually, you know, getting back on my feet after drill sergeant school. I kind of get back on my feet, because you can hear in the second verse, you know, I still wasn't back on my feet. I was still going through a lot of shit, but you know, at the end of the day, it was just like a stepping stone for me to be more successful and, you know, pushing through adversity.
Mm-hmm. Who produced this beat?
Damn, off the top of my head, I cannot remember.
No worries.
Yeah.
I didn't want even want to put you in that position, brother. So,
Yeah.
You know, especially when you work as hard as you do and put out as much work as you put out. So I totally understand.
Yeah, because I mess with a lot of different producers. I be going through beat stars every day, listening to the beats and seeing what catches my ears.
You know, what's dope? What's dope is that you should do that. If you're a student of the game, you should be in everybody's page. And it should be that difficult. And again, that just shows dedication to your craft and what it is that you're looking for because you seeking that sound.
Yeah.
You know, and I admire that, man. I admire that. Broke. We have it again. Get ready to play it. Do you have any other thoughts as far as when you put this together, like to create it? And it was like, you know what, this is undeniable. I want to do this. This is amazing. What's your thought on that, really quick?
Normally, at that time, I think it was some growth to me in that because normally I try to sacrifice the flow for the punchline, and at that time, I was just like, you know what? Let me just try to ride the beat on this whole song and just say what I need to say instead of just thinking of this crazy punchline and it doesn't fit within the pocket of the beat. So I was like, yeah, that's how I was just like, you know, I was riding the beat and I was just like, oh yeah, I'll ride the beat. And then the intensity I think I put in the chorus, like I think people would have felt that because I know people went through a lot of stuff. And like from seeing, like I'll be watching Spotify and that's one of the songs that always end up being at the top of my playlist, like what people choose. So I guess people feel it.
And if not nothing else, brother, the story that you told in it is dope.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's key. We'll touch on that a little bit in a sec. But at the end of the day, this is Barbaric Barry with Broke. Check this out.
The time I was homeless, when my life and my dreams seemed hopeless. I was just trying to eat, couldn't focus. But I kept cool, nobody didn't notice. But I still had 2 jobs, Metro 1 and the Army Reserve. But it still couldn't give me shelter. I probably needed some prayers from a preacher. But through all this shit I remember drill sergeant school in September. 2 months before I could enter, I didn't pitch up like Bruce Jenner. I lost my apartment, I lost my car. I left my girl, but I didn't lose heart. I still had a gym membership, I left it on night shift. For drill side I gotta be fit, with 2 part-time occupations. No patience, no complacence, cause I know when I'm facing the ground and my stomach got me breaking. The weight that I'm pushing got me aching. I got hate in my heart like I'm fucking with Satan. That's real shit, you wouldn't really know till you have to feel it. I don't need this sympathy, just keep it, cause I'm still here today undefeated. Nigga, I was broke before, nobody gives a fuck if you broke or poor. Nah, nigga, I was broke before, nobody gives a fuck if you broke or poor. Nah, nigga, I was broke before, nobody gives a fuck if you broke or poor. Nah, nigga, I was broke before, nobody gives a fuck if you broke or poor. Yes, I'm trying to work for more, but really I don't know what's in store. My friends don't call and text no more. I break through shit, I ain't poor no more. I finished drill sergeant school, I was still broke. I got a room apartment with a tight space. I was like, fuck this shit, I should sell dope. I was going to work with the sour face. The neighbor upstairs cussing, the neighbor next door talking to himself while he's fussing. And I'm trying to sleep while these motherfuckers bugging. The other upstairs is sniffing coke and fucking. I remember when my pillow had to dry my eyes. I remember when my diet was just burgers and fries. I was trying to be strong, but I wanted to die. The question always was what I'm doing alive. I said fuck this shit and cursed myself. I kept to myself all the pain that I felt. People act fake, I didn't want no help. I told myself I gotta help myself, so I started to write to ease my stress and write out a plan to get out this mess. Without hard work, there's no success. Sweat for your goals and forget the rest. People wanna tell me what to do when they themselves don't have a clue. So I just did what I had to do. Keep grinding and grinding till I made it through, my nigga. Nigga, I was broke before. Nobody gives a fuck if you broke or poor. Nah, nigga, I was broke before. Nobody gives a fuck if you broke or poor. Nah, nigga, I was broke before. Nobody gives a fuck if you broke or poor. Nah, nigga, I was broke before. Nobody gives a fuck if you broke or poor. Yes, I'm trying to work for more, but really I don't know what's in store. My friends don't call and text no more. I bring through shit, I ain't poor no more.
Yeah. It's the story for that with me. I think at the end of the day, that's the whole thing. When you think of like R&B, when you think about soul, you think about some of the dopest material that you've ever encountered in life. It's always a story behind it, right? It's like, what does it really mean to you? And who don't identify with being broke? You know, and I think that's the biggest thing. Your delivery was crazy, the music was crazy. Like it was with it. Like I get it. Like you know what I mean? And I think that I've never even I've been an artist and a producer for a long time, and I don't think I've ever even eclipsed anything like that. You know, and I can say that I'm good. I'm comfortable with who I am as a person and an artist. And say that. So again, kudos to you as a person, as an artist, as a painter. You know, of landscapes, and it just again another firm reason as to why I feel that you're a dope and sincerely crazy like recording artist and songwriter. Like you're dope, bro. So
thank you, man. Thank you, man.
No doubt. Now, how long did it take for you to record that?
I think I did it within a week. Because a lot was going on with the neighbor next door and all that stuff like that. So it's just like, you know what? Right, what the hell I'm going through right now. And I wrote it and I had it there. But then when I went to Texas, when I found a better well, I don't want to say better. Well, when I found a recording studio and I actually could have went to the recording studio and do it, I re-recorded it. And then I released it with that mixtape.
Okay. All right. Now, the second song we have is DPA. What's your thought process on that? And how did that come together?
All right, so that started with I had this dude I used to like. Well, I supported him. He was another rapper. So you know, he was going about his thing like once in a while I see him going on these rants, and he used to be like attacking other rappers and stuff like that. I don't know, just like, you know, whatever. So I guess one night I was just writing. I think I wrote a status saying something like, "Yo," I was like, "I'm here sitting down, trying my hardest to think of the best bars I could come up with, and you know, people like I think Migos could write something easy and become famous." So he was just like, he came on my status and he was just like, I forgot exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of, "Oh, it's more than just writing bars and blah blah blah." And I disagree with him. I was just like, writing bars is like, it's a hip hop skill, bro. Like, to hop on a track and just say shit that doesn't even make sense. I can't see it. Like, it was just like you disrespecting the beat. So then, yeah, then he went and wrote a status on his page. Well, you need to have, I understand you need to have the voice as a rapper and you need to have like swagger and all that stuff like that. And he was writing that and he was like, none of y'all ain't going, some of y'all ain't even going to become rappers. And I know that was a shot at me. And then I wrote on my status to be kind of like petty, and I was just like, well, if you didn't tag me in it, it ain't for me. So I had just like, yo, you just acting like the MGPA acts said pussy. So I was like, yeah, nobody wants to fuck with a dry pussy. So I was like, you got a dry pussy attitude. I just came up with that, and I was just like, like all my life, I felt like that I always get pushback from dudes, bro, for no reason. Like, I ain't tell you nothing. You just came out of nowhere and just told me some shit. So like, I'm trying to give myself props. Like, if I see somebody trying to be self-confident and doing their thing and they're happy about what they're doing, I'll leave them alone. Like, it has nothing to do with me. Like, yo, you confident? You think you're doing your thing? Cool, fine. Again, at the end of the day, if I ask somebody, more than likely I'm open enough to for them to give me their opinion of me. Right. So, I have to accept that. But somebody say, they stand in the corner and they're beautiful and they think they're beautiful, and you leave them alone. Let them enjoy themselves, or whatever like that. But like, I always feel like especially when it came to music, like dudes was just like always like come out of nowhere and just attack me or just be like, oh nah, or ask me to do a beat and then not really, and then I rap on it and then it doesn't get released. But yet when they ask me to hop on my shit, I'll release the song with them. And, you know, little things like that. So I was just like, yo, like, try pussy attitude. I just don't want to fuck with y'all. Like,
all right. Any? Do you remember who the producer is for this, or any thoughts on that, or no?
I think it was the Jungle. It was something. It was not Jungle Beats though. It
again. I'm not putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I said like so many, like I be getting so many beats from so many people, and like I know at the end of the track I'm supposed to like. I think I say it at the end of the track though. Who's the person who produced it? Because I at the beginning when I started doing the hip hop thing, I didn't realize it was a thing you're supposed to do, and then I started reading the contracts, and the same thing is like, yo, like if it wasn't for the beat, or if it so because the beat mostly gives me the inspiration. Like when I hear a certain beat, like my mind just clicks. Like I don't know what happens, I just feel it, and I know what to write to it. And you know, you have to give that respect to producers. So like I started at the end of the beat, I would say who produced the beat, you know, just to give them their props. You know, they deserve that respect.
Okay, understood. At the end of the day, I totally understand where you come from. Again, no pressure. It is what it is. But nonetheless, Barbaric Barry, DPA. Here we go.
Turn your head round. Take off that frown.
Tired of all these hating ass niggas, man. Yeah, always hating. Yeah, bullshit. Hell no. They're trying to kill my confidence. I got a jealous audience, but I'm on a different altitude. All these haters got a dry pussy attitude. They're trying to kill my confidence. I got a jealous audience, but I'm on a different altitude. All these haters got a dry pussy attitude. Man, all a brother trying to do is succeed. Haters peeping and they plotting when you plant seeds. I mind my business, pay attention to my cash flow. Haters mind my business, nose up in my asshole. Niggas trying to fuck the girl, you gonna make your wife. They should use that energy to fix their fucked up life. Pussy niggas can't express how they really feel. Throwing shade on social media to keep it real. Your mannequin DNA don't want that face to face. Disrespect these hands to dress you, put you in your place. I'm running shit, but I'm moving at a steady pace. Withdraw a deposit the only time I'm in a chase. When they in your face, they say you're the fucking man. Behind your back, they say, yeah, right, fuck that man. And that is what I call a dry pussy attitude. The same reason that I won't even fuck with you. They're trying to kill my confidence. I got a jealous audience, but I'm on a different altitude. All these haters got a dry pussy attitude. They're trying to kill my confidence. I got a jealous audience, but I'm on a different altitude. All these haters got a dry pussy attitude. How you hating on a person with some confidence? How you jealous on the low while giving compliments? You probably got that DPA in your DNA. My time is almost here, you won't stop my ETA. I'm just trying to develop, keep my head up, but the shade haters throwing ain't cool. I'm getting fed up, so I put the pressure up on their necks. I wouldn't let up, like if Lucifer's home was a kid. I'm raising hell up. They want you stop achieving, they want you stop believing, but the more they really want me to stop, I keep on beasting. When my homies elevate to the top, I keep supporting, cause the love that you show to your brethren is important. Always check your lawn, cause haters envy your grass. Hiding in the bushes, they tryna sabotage fast. Keeping shit low, so all the snakes exposed. I see the naked truth even though they hiding some clothes, motherfucker. They're trying to kill my confidence. I got a jealous audience, but I'm on a different altitude. All these haters got a dry pussy attitude. They're trying to kill my confidence. I got a jealous audience, but I'm on a different altitude. All these haters got a dry pussy attitude.
That part.
Yes, I didn't think on that one.
Hey, listen. I mean, even to the cover of it.
Yeah, shout out to my homie Sue Cooler for making that. He's like, because I know we just be like, yo, just listen to the song and just put the cover you want. And then I saw the cover come back and you just like, yo, you a fool, son.
Yeah, no. Like I said, man, I told you in the last joint, but I'm saying it again. I think you are very, very talented, man. Like at the end of the day, you just need a platform to just keep doing your thing, and so the people get to feel for you, bro. Like I love your stride, bro. I love your storytelling. I love your enthusiasm because when I hear you spit, I hear the enthusiasm. You know what I mean? And
yeah, my happy moment right there. I'm rapping.
It's funny, you know, and I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna challenge you with this too, because I you know, again, I'm from the Northeast too. But there was a movie that's very iconic to me. Well, it's two of them. Carlito's Way is one of them. The Untouchables is the second one. And in The Untouchables, he you know, it was a story of Al Capone and Elliot Ness, and in it, Capone said, "The game is a game of enthusiasms." He was like, "Yeah, enthusiasms. For a man to be preeminent, he's expected to have enthusiasms." You know what I mean? And the enthusiasm, people don't understand that word. And I think that's the thing that I admire the most about people with art, like true artists. It's enthusiasm. I am this, and I'm just glad to be like sharing the world that I am this. You know what I mean? And I swear, every time I hear everything that you do, I'm like, yo, this dude is mad enthusiastic. He just needs the platform, man. People need to hear him. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I feel about it. So again, sorry if I'm rambling, but I just wanted to say that. No doubt. How are we on time? You got a little bit of time? Because I know we
yeah, I got time.
Cool. All right. So let's keep it moving then. So we at what I call Hot Topics, and Hot Topics is my favorite segment. In fact, I just said it earlier today. I'm about to just put a whole little intro for the Hot Topics alone, just because I love it, right? And they're designed for people to get an understanding of who you are. You know, not political, not I want to say the right thing. It's just at the end of the day, who are you? You know?
Yeah.
So now that we're in the Hot Topics section, it's 3 questions. We'll run them at you, answer them to the best of your ability. Okay? First question. 3 things you don't know. So what's 3 things that people may not know about Barbaric Barry?
One, they wouldn't know. A lot of people don't realize I'm from Trinidad. So, you know, that's the first thing. Second thing, I love playing Mortal Kombat. That's my game, man. I'm playing that joint since MK1 since I was little. So another thing, and just I have a dish. My favorite dish is roti. And from Trinidad, that's love roti.
Okay. Sorry, and I'm not an expert by any means of Trinidad dishes or culture, but I did date a young lady from Trinidad, so I've had roti before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about it. Throw that over there. So that's awesome. And you flew through those 3, by the way, which is awesome. Because most people be like, let me think. And you, kudos, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. You should fly through this one too. Top 5 MCs. Go.
All right. So I don't have these in order, but currently, are we doing this currently or are we doing this
Top 5 and C's, period. To you.
period?
You don't know if they current, if they old, or whatever. Top 5 and C's, period.
I'm current. She's a, I like it. But
Say
you know what?
That's why I love Hot Topics.
So I'll go with the top 5 is not in order.
Okay.
They switch up
Fair.
like so often for me. Well, I would pay respects to Rakim. Rakim,
Obviously.
that fast flow that he introduced into hip hop, and Big Daddy King with that,
Yep.
it was that's why I like rapping like that. But then it's Royce, King
Royce
Crooked,
Yep.
yeah, Royce the 5'9", King Crooked,
Yep.
M,
Okay.
and
It's always tough for that fifth one. Trust me. I understand. The fifth one is the disrespectful one. That's the one that, you know, if a person heard, they might be like, man, how dare you? I'm not even in the top 5. And that's why it was always the crucial one.
I think it's Big Pun.
You know what? And that is a very, very solid pick. Very solid. I can give you that. Pun was very. If he was with us longer, same thing.
Yeah, for him to like, especially in that early, especially his first album, to be like that. That the flow is just, yeah, and you could tell like from my list, like I like people who switch up the flow and just mad creative with their flows and have bars at the same time. So that's basically my list. You know, and sometimes you know what. If I didn't have Pun there, it would be Black Thought.
I was about to freak out for a second. I ain't gonna lie. The fact that you say Black Thought, because Black Thought, nobody ever checks for Black Thought, but Black Thought, he's one of the greatest lyricists of all time, flat out.
Flat out. And the thing is, like, it's so simple. He says simple stuff, but it's just, and then the way he just puts it together is just like, yo, what the hell? I didn't think about that. Like, crazy, man. It's just like, yo, and it's just, and he's one like, for instance, me and my friend, we had this conversation with Jada, because he got Jada in his list, and I'll be like, yo, Jada just uses the same flow most of his career. I'm not taking him away from how dope he is as a lyricist, but he used the same flow. Sometimes you listen to Jada and just be like, I'm done.
Right.
And Black Thought kind of has like the same cadence throughout his songs with a little adjustment in it, but it's just the way it just fits every song. It's crazy. Like, you know, like you don't see artists like that like a lot.
It is crazy because I was like, say what, man, well, so do you want more? That was my, like, I was a Roots man with Scott Storch's Roots, bro.
Yes.
I was with the Roots, bro. You know what I mean? So I totally understand, and the fact that you say that is just let me. Barbaric Barry, that's my guy. I'm a fan. If I wasn't a fan before, I'm 1,000% a fan now for sure. I'm gonna say, and this is not in order, and it's controversial, but hey, whatever. I'm gonna say Pac, Biggie, and I know those are both. You know, everybody parades around and says those two, but I just, for what they brought to the game, period. Pac and Biggie got to put them there. I'm gonna put a segue joint. I'm gonna say Big L / Big Pun.
Okay.
Okay, because they both fit the same space to me, flat out.
Yeah.
But they both deserve credit. I'm gonna say Rakim for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This last one is crazy though, and this one is gonna be the same thing as the third one. I'm gonna say MJ. But the caveat is the third person is I got to put Common in there. I got the comment.
I can't really debate anything. I haven't listened to Common in so long, so I can't really, you really can't debate that. I don't think you're wrong, because I remember listening to him and jamming to some Common. I just, like as a person, I understand like it's some artists you might not be into, but you could tell they're talented and they're very skillful. And to me, Common was skillful, very skillful.
No, and here's the thing. I can understand your apprehensiveness in going with that. Trust me, I do. You know what I mean? Because he's not somebody that's talked about. Same thing as like you said, Black Thought, not talked about. But these people, and by right, they should be in that fifth category too. That's why I said the fifth one is always the one that's like the disrespectful one. So to me, I'm gonna throw everybody in that fifth one as much as I can. Like, not honorable mention, but they share that fifth. Yes. You know what I mean? Because people like what's his name? Guru. Yeah. Like nobody talks about Guru. Guru was sick. Big Daddy Kane. Sick. Yep. You know what I mean? Buster. Buster Bus.
Yes, Buster, yeah.
Sick. Like, you know what I mean? But you can't, it's like you don't want to disrespect them. But you Nas. You know what I mean? You can. It's just so many to throw in there. So you got to kind of, that to me, that's my little thing. And I know it's a cop out, but that's my thing with the top five. It's like the top five. It's like there.
I always think like anybody can have their top five. It's just your top five had to be somebody like you look at it and you'd be like, I can't really argue with that. Like, some people have certain people in the top five and you can argue, but like again, like your list, you can't really argue with that. Yeah, you can argue. Like,
I would like to think you can't argue with it, but it would say don't argue with a fool.
You can have a debate, like you have a debate of like between your list and the other person's list, but you just be like, you could see like, I can see why that's the top five.
Facts. Let's go to the last hot topic. My playlist popping. Like, what you listening to? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's in your playlist right now? When you riding, when Barbaric Barry is going to Whole Foods or something, what's in your playlist?
Lately I've been listening to Horseshoe Gang.
Okay.
King Cooker's brothers. They're pretty dope. Also I've been listening to I listened to music Be Murdered By Part 2, Eminem had released the other day. Benny the Butcher. And who I slept on to? Conway, bro. I was so mad. I listened to the album. I was just like, yo, why I just ignored this dude this whole time? And like it's just something about his lyricism is crazy. And he lived that life. And I was never the one to get into the whole, the last album I had listened to that was like about, shooting up and blah, 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 was Get Rich or Die Trying. That was just one of them albums you just couldn't deny. But
yeah, that was crazy album.
But that Conway album, it hit. I was just like, damn, like I didn't know he was that nice. I knew he was all right, but I didn't know he was that nice.
What was your thoughts on Detroit?
Wait, Detroit is his last, or was what?
No, I'm talking about. I'm sorry, a whole different artist. The Big Sean, Big Sean, Detroit.
Oh, Big Sean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Big Sean. Big Sean is nice. I listened to his last album. Yeah. Big Sean. To me, his setups and his punchlines are very unique as an artist, but he delivers. Sometimes his voice kind of catches me off guard when he takes that high pitched tone sometimes on certain songs, but Big Sean's nice. He got bars.
I feel you in a Conway joint for sure. I feel to me, I put him over there with Big Sean. That's why I asked you that question. Okay. Because it's just one of those things. It's like this. It's kind of like KL. You put Kendrick Lamar in that space too, even though he's championed a little bit more, obviously. But it's just these younger guys. It's like, okay, well, they got got heat, but you still kind of go back with these guys over here because these guys
Yeah.
have done it over time. You know what I mean?
Because it's the uniqueness. I guess I also follow that because sometimes I listen to the new guys and I'm hearing and every track the same type of flow, and it's just like, okay, what else you got other
Right.
than that? You know, and you're saying kind of like the same thing also. And I'm hearing it from several different artists on this side from the new guys. And then you have unique guys like Conway, Benny the Butcher, the way how they approach stuff, how they go about it, how they say their words, how they tell their story differently. Then you have Big Sean, how he adapts, how he switches his flow. You know, like that's it's unique. This like you could see their personality on the track. And instead of, oh, I'm just trying to make money. That's what you see when you see like you hear the trap beat and the da 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 da, and you're not really hearing like any substance of what they're saying. To me, I'm hearing, oh, I'm just trying to make some money. I'm really trying to just blow in the rap shit. Compared to somebody telling their story. Big Sean in his last album was telling us like the stuff he went through in his he was going through in between the time he released the last album.
Right.
And that's his personality on the track. Like that's the uniqueness. That's the uniqueness of an artist. You know?
Right. And but that again, it goes back to why I respect you, because again, you have an analytical ear. You know what I mean? Like you care about the craft. You could tell by the way that you form your opinions based off of what's moving. So again, I love your steez, bro. Like flat out, you know. So you made it through Hot Topics, right? And again, for the interest of time, I definitely want to kind of get you through and get you out, because again, we well over your time. But you know, again, thank you for being patient with me. Let me ask you these questions and then we get you going. How is NJ Jers post-presidential elections? Because a lot has happened even at the start of 2021, and you know, I got a pulse on it because I got all my family up there. Like I'm on their timelines be ringing. So you know what I mean. But I want to ask you, for people that are not familiar with New Jersey, what's it like out there? What's the temperature?
I mean, you have some people rumbling about it, especially in you mostly see it on like social media. But I don't really like when I go to work. I remember the day when they had stormed the Capitol. I heard about it, and honestly, I wasn't surprised about the reaction to it. So I was just like, people was just asking me like, yo, why aren't you like people are affected by this? And I was just like, bro, like it's been happening for years. Like, why should I be surprised? If I'm surprised now, that means I have not been paying attention to what.
You know, but it's interesting that you say that, because I would ask you again, not to put you on the spot, but understanding the fact that you have served and you have dedicated your time to the country, right, and have done a lot for the country. And so, looking at it from that perspective, from that lens, like it didn't hit a little bit different, because it's like, look, and again, I'm sorry if I'm shaping words funny or whatever, but to me, I look at it as if I was in and I was spending my time fighting for this and fighting for this thing, to have somebody come across and kind of pervert it to an extent to kind of shape a narrative. And I'm like, but I'm busting my behind over here for this, and you making a mockery of it. Like, how did it land differently with you in that? Because again, I understand, like you said, you're not really surprised, but did it kind of hit different, or is it just like you said, just like, well, I mean, I kind of expected it.
Well, that didn't hit differently when that whole thing with Eric Gardner, and especially with Trayvon Martin and all those. That's when it hit, and I think now it just got to the point where you're not surprised. So it's just like, at that time I signed a contract, and again I went into reserve and I signed a contract, and I mean, eventually, I see we're getting fed up with it, especially this generation. They're not standing for that nonsense. Like how I know the older generation will sometimes look down on the millennials, and but you can see them fighting definitely, and they're not tolerating it. And at the end of the day, I was just like, well, the people who went there and whoever got hurt, they went there, and it was basically a terrorist attack. So I mean, our people was just less than peacefully, and they were getting like attacked while protesting peacefully. So like you look at it and you just see like what's been happening over the years, and you see how it progressed, and then you see that happen. Most you could just say is, well, it's them, So, and our people are not out there. I don't mean to sound mean about it, but we not out there yet. So fine, but again, the way how they reacted to it, I wasn't surprised, and yeah, it didn't hit as hard as the murder, because like it's something I expect, and it's the first thing that comes to the front of your mind. You just like certain situations, and you just be like, yo, this is about to happen, and then it happens, and you just be like, all right, and just prove my point.
Right.
But and just like again, again, you hear grumblings here and there with certain people. Nothing they can really do about it.
That part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the cleanest, most simple answer I have heard on the topic yet. Like you said, it's really at the end of the day, we're like, what can you do about it? Like, and it's not to say that it's any less feelings about it or so forth and so on. It's just at the end of the day, what can you do about it? Like it happened. Like,
Exactly.
I get it. Let's on to something that might be near and dear to you. Nets and Knicks.
Next. Thibodeau actually has been doing a good job. I mean, again, we still need a little more talent on the team, but for the most part, he has them play defense, and you can see that they go out there with effort every night, and that's what we want to see. At least for the time that this franchise has been on the low side. So it feels like we're heading in the right direction.
I agree. Who would you say is right now that's currently on the Knicks roster, the player that has not performed as well as you think that they should have, but kind of the person who's kind of let you down so far?
But Knox would have been better. I mean, he's getting there, but like you see slight improvements. But
I really like you, dude, because he's my guy. Kevin Knox, I swear, I just felt he was Michael Porter Jr. before Michael Porter Jr. came out.
Yeah,
and it's like, bro, you should be performing way well above and beyond where you are right now. I don't know if he's happy getting a check or what, but I just feel more can be made out of him.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, it's like they're with you right now, like, and you've been in the league what, 2 years now? It's been 2 years, right? Yeah.
This is third year, I think.
Oh yeah, this is third year. This is Barnett second year.
Yeah, I think Barnett he's got a lot of upside. And I think, like you said, if Knox actually pulls it together, they could be a nice little force. But like you said, it's just Kevin Knox specifically has been a single point. I love, was it Mitchell Robinson?
Yeah.
Dude's nasty, yo.
Yeah, he is nasty.
Julius Randle.
I
said he was nasty when he was with the Lakers, and LA folk was like, get him out. He don't know how to play. I was like, this dude footwork is some of the best. Yeah.
Double almost every night.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you. I'm here to tell you. I called it 2, 3, 4 years ago. Whenever he first came to the league, I was like, this dude is nasty. Facts. Y'all still got Nilakina, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they want to. You need a point, man.
Yeah, but I mean, trust me, he's better than a lot of other point guards.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I think now y'all starting to see exactly what y'all got because y'all got a quality coach.
Yeah.
Prior to that, you know, when y'all had the Fizdale, bro, let me tell you something. I wanted to bring the TV for y'all because I was like, as soon as they hired him, I was like, oh, he is trash, bro. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, and no disrespect, because again, these are human beings we're talking about. But I'm trying to tell you, I just had a conversation with in the last cast I was on. There's two people that I hate as coaches, hate because I'm like they just Stan Van Gundy, Fizdale, both of them. Oh, they are horrid, bro. Like it's like, I don't even understand. I put a tie on for work, bro.
Yeah,
you know,
beginning of the season, I was like, you know what, give him a chance, and then I was like, nah, man, get this man out of here, bro.
As soon as they announced the hiring, I was like, bad idea, bro. Bad idea. You know, so you know. But again, I don't dislike any team. My team is the Wizards, and you already said they are who we thought they were. You know, but like I said, I scan everybody. Like I'm a fan of the NBA just as much as I'm a fan of the NFL, and I study everybody's team because in my mind I like to think I'm some sort of quasi guru GM. But immediately, as soon as they got Tibbs, I was like, New York's on my radar for how to like the undercover team, the team that might, you know what I mean. And I said that last year about Miami too. And you know LA made it to the finals. You know what I mean? So
they surprised me, to be honest.
But I think consistency is anything. You know what I mean? And like you see, like Miami's in a lull right now, but I think the Knicks, if they don't get it this year, next year they're gonna be that version of the Phoenix Suns in the East. Where then they start making noise, and this is like, okay, they on something, and then everybody start paying attention.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But they definitely got the pieces, man. They got the pieces, and they got the coach, and I think that's gonna work for New York for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Last two questions. Let me get you out of here. Any advice for aspiring talent?
Consistency.
That part.
Believe in yourself. At the end of the day, you know, you have your dreams, and a lot of people. I mean, you want people. At times, you want people to, you know, give you their props and stuff like that. But believe in yourself. As the first person, especially people who try to comment and then they're not even working on their own dreams. Like, don't let them people come and tell you, you should do this and you should do that. And then you look over there and they're not doing anything with themselves either. Like they're not the person to listen to. Like you believe in yourself, and you keep on pushing forward. And some days it is hard. You know, some days you question like, God, me doing this. But you know, if you put down, write it all on a piece of paper, write down your plan, and stuff to cover yourself, like for your recording time and all that stuff like that. You know, and you keep on pushing, you get there. You know, somebody will.
Okay, I respect that, and I always liken that to because I'm a huge comic book guy, and I always liken it to Superman story. It's like at the end of the day, if everybody was Superman, everybody have capes and be flying all over the place. It's only one Superman.
Yep.
You know, and you know, there's people that smile and stare up in Clark Kent face and couldn't tell him that he couldn't tell he's Superman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't listen to everybody else's story, man. At the end of the day, I am who I am, and you're gonna find out later. So, you know, that's that. And you know, brother, you is definitely one of the Supermen out here for sure. So I definitely want to appreciate you for that, and I definitely appreciate your commentary. How can people learn more about you?
Go to IG, Instagram, you know, BAR_Barbaric_Barry. Or I even have a Twitch, Barbaric_Barry 86. You catch me there playing games, you learn. I talk about my music and stuff on there too. So I'm trying to work on a music website. I'll put my music out there, but you can go on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, it's basically on all those platforms, SoundCloud, and check me out, Barbaric Barry. But this next mixtape I'll come out, you'll learn a lot more about me too.
How can somebody submit work to you, brother? I got some beats I kind of want to see you, because Donnie B got the beats, man. I got some boom bap stuff I might want to start throwing your direction. How does one go about that?
You can just send it to my email, dmanbarry22@gmail. I'm ready, bro. like again, work. Like my boss passed by, he be hearing me listening to beats, and he just be like, because he doesn't know. I didn't tell him I do music and stuff like that. I'd be like the whole day I just have like tracks that's playing, and I'll just save it to a playlist and try to put it on. I'll put it like underneath a playlist for storytelling, the idea I had at the time. Sometimes I don't know, as the days change, the way you hear things change. Sometimes it's so weird. Like the day you be feeling a beat, and the next day you be like, nah, like why? So So, but boom bap, I'll do that. Even though I try to stray away and try to go to other beats to be a little more versatile, I always end up coming back and be like, listen to my boom bap a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's a movement. That's the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that was my thing. That's part of my strategy out here too. Is I'm an East Coast cat that's living on the West Coast now. This is my heritage, bro. Boom bap is what I'm talking about from the doo-wop tape days. Like, what I'm saying, back in the day with Mike Geronimo and what I'm saying. Like, I go back. Like, so. You know what I mean? Like, for me to share, my culture, this is what I do, bro. Like, so I totally understand where you at with the boom bap. I understand exactly what the heritage and the culture of New York, the sound from that era and how it resonates. Rick Rubin, like, that heavy, like, craziness.
The one rapping on it. It's just, there's so many things you could do to it, bro.
Exactly. And it gets everybody's attention. It doesn't matter, yo.
Yeah.
So I totally understand. But that's why I was like, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? And the fact I understand why you live by that style and breathe by it. And it's craziness, you know what I'm saying, as far as in a good way. Like, so yeah, I'm gonna be hollering at you soon because I'm gonna send you something. I know I said that to you before, but I mean that. But time's up, brother. We got you through, and definitely was glad to share your story. If you have any links, any future work coming out, feel free to send it. I'd be more than happy to be a springboard for or a platform for you to just have another vehicle to share. I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan of Barbaric Barry. So, anything I can do to help get the brand out there, you feel free to reach out to me. I'm telling you right now, all my fans of the beat and so forth, this brother right here he coming through, bro. You know what I'm saying? He coming through.
I appreciate you giving me this interview, or at least giving me my opportunity to, to let people know who I am. Like that opportunity doesn't come a lot, from people. Sometimes they want something back in return if you do it, and you sincerely reached out to me and and gave me this opportunity. So I really appreciate that.
And brother, I'm gonna have you back too. So anytime you got something new, holla at me. Let me know, man. Trust me, we'll pull you back up and get it back out on the platform. But it's an old saying from back being in the Northeast, man. Real recognize real, and that's the biggest thing, bro. That's why I was like, look. If this person is talented, man, if I can do anything for it, I'm gonna do everything I can for it. You know what I'm saying? What they say, moderation is for cowards. You know what I'm saying? So wanted to say all that. But nonetheless, bro, thank you for your time. And again, thank you for being, appreciative, well, not appreciative, but understanding of the time that's matching and so forth and so on. And you know what I mean by that. Good luck with your, not good luck. That's the, let me rephrase that. Congratulations on your nuptial. And I wish you well. That's what I mean to say. I wish you well, Godspeed, brother. You're a humble dude, a good brother, and you deserve nothing but dopeness. So, in that aspect, I wish you well and good luck with that. Seriously.
Thank you very much, man.
All right. Again, this is Donnie B got the beats. We live on the beat. I try to get the talent as much as I can, a dope talent like this brother right here, man. So make sure y'all stay tuned. We got some other people lined up real soon, and it is what it is. You got any last little thoughts or anything that you want to say out there?
Everybody have a good night, man. Appreciate y'all watching.
Dope. Make sure y'all tune in to Barbaric Barry, man. Follow this man. He's got some dope work, and I'm sure whatever he's got new coming up is gonna be dope too. Again, Donnie B got the beat. Stay loved up, stay masked up, stay blessed, and we out 2021. Peace.
Donnie B got